Hi, I'm Scott. Welcome back to my garage. Today we're going to review the Milwaukee Fuel brushless HACKZALL. So I've had this for, I don't know, a few weeks. I've used it a couple times, but not a lot. I got it because it's more compact than the Sazall. It's a little bit more compact. It's a little smaller. It certainly feels a lot lighter. We'll weigh it here in a minute, but this is the HACKZALL by Milwaukee. It's kind of got a trigger, kind of like a gun trigger, but you hold it like this, the blade goes in here, and I'm right-handed, so I'll hold it like this. You can put your hand here to stabilize it as it's sawing, or you can kind of stabilize it this way, depending on what you're cutting and how much effort you want to put in. But it's the Milwaukee Fuel brushless HACKZALL. I think it's pretty neat. I haven't put it to a real test yet. I traditionally brought my Sazall for projects and for work. I think the Sazall is probably more robust. I have one right here. So the Sazall is definitely heavier. Here's the Milwaukee brushless Sazall. It's certainly a lot heavier. Like, there's a lot more weight to this. It's just more bulky. It's a little bit harder to keep around. Now, I've been using Sazall since Milwaukee had them with electric. Used to plug them in. I still have one up here in the garage that has a plug on it, but the battery is much more convenient. Now, this is an 18 volt M18. So is my HACKZALL. It's an M18. So they're taking the same battery, and I have the 5.0 red lithium here. We'll test them both out, kind of see what's a little bit quicker. It's probably going to be hard to really test these realistically, but you can kind of hear them running back and forth. But before we begin, let's weigh them. Let's see what the weight is. I have my scale with me, my mailing scale, and we'll zero it out. Okay, it's now at 0. I'm gonna put the HACKZALL on it. We'll see what the weight is. And the weight is 3 pounds, 15.5 ounces. So it's almost 4 pounds. So now we'll take the Sazall, which is a lot heavier. Certainly feels a lot heavier. Let me put it on the scale and see what we get. So it's 6 pounds, 12 ounces. 6 pounds, 12 ounces versus 315. So it's almost 3 pounds heavier, which makes sense. This feels a lot, and I've not actually held them in comparison. I've used one or the other. This is a newer Sazall. I have a DeWalt that I've carried around forever that sits in the back of my truck. I'm switching everything over to Milwaukee just from a battery standpoint. But this is the Milwaukee Sazall. It does have a rafter hanger on it, which makes it nice. The HACKZALL doesn't have a hanger on it. Nothing like that at all. So weight-wise, it certainly is a lot lighter. Once you put the battery on, oops, battery goes this way. Once you put the battery on, it's going to add some weight, but it also kind of balances itself out. It's got a light on it. You can see it's got a light. It still sounds very powerful. Let me put the battery in to the Sazall. And I don't have blades on that right now. This feels a lot more powerful. It actually, yeah, it feels a lot more powerful. I don't think there's a light. Yeah, there is a light on the Sazall. Let's put a blade on them and see what we do. So I brought 2x4, a little piece of wood. I took the battery out. So the way that you put the blade in, the Sazall, the HACKZALL, is you turn it right here. You turn this right on the end. And let's get the measurement before I do that. So lengthwise, the Sazall with the battery on it, it's 19. Let me throw the battery on this. Same size battery. So this is 16. So it's a couple inches shorter. I'll take the battery out again. We'll put the blade in. Again, you just turn this. You just turn this to put the blade in. And it just snaps right in. And this is a short wood blade on the HACKZALL. Let's kind of cut. Let's see if we can get this in frame. I'm gonna set the Sazall down. Let's just see how quickly we get in. I'm not gonna cut the whole thing. So I'm holding it firmly, holding this, pushing this up against the wood so it doesn't shake around too much. And I'm kind of shaking everything off my table. But in that amount of time, that's where we are. And so we're about an inch in. So I'm gonna take the battery out. I'm actually gonna use the exact same blade for the Sazall. And we'll put this in the Sazall. And with the Sazall, let me pull the battery out so I don't hurt myself on camera. So on the Sazall, there is a switch that unlocks the blade. So it's right here. Here's the switch. And for most of the work I've done, I've used Sazalls. Like, they're heavy duty. I've never, since this one's fairly new, you really have to pull in. I've used Sazalls for the most part because I've cut bigger timber, bigger things. With the HACKZALL, it's just probably easier to carry around. I'll probably cut more stuff with it just because I'll have it with me versus lugging this around. Let me move my battery. Let me move my scale a little bit because I kind of shook everything. And we're going to use the same piece of wood. We're going to use the same angle. I'm going to use a different hole. Push up tight, hold tight. So in that amount of time, I want to say it cut a lot faster. It cut a lot faster. I didn't time it. I don't have a timer here, but I think it's just more aggressive. More aggressive, cuts quicker, but it's bulkier. This is heavy to carry around, but if you're doing that kind of work, if you're doing the kind of work that you need to kind of chop things apart all the time, whatever, cutting 4x4s, I would probably go with the Sazall versus the HACKZALL. And this is a sharp blade, but I wanted to compare them both. But from a convenience standpoint, I'll carry this around probably in my tool bag more often than I will the other. What do you think? Do you have it? Do you use it? I know I've seen plumbers use it. I've seen a lot of trades use this, just probably because it's more convenient to carry around. And I don't have the 12. This comes in a 12, so the M12 battery, 12-volt battery versus the 18-volt battery makes it even smaller, more compact, lighter. I don't know. I have most of my tools in 18 volts, so that's why I keep this. So tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts. How do you use it? How am I doing it wrong? What tips do you have for the HACKZALL? I'd like to know. Like, I'd like to know right off the bat before I hurt myself. Give me your tips. Give me your thoughts. But this is the Milwaukee HACKZALL. Pretty good. I'm going to put it to more use. All right. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.